Alright, and welcome everyone to RPM Esports F1. I am your commentator, always Rick2, and I'll be joining you guys in this race here tonight in High Gear Division Round 3, where RPM is gonna hit the Saudi Arabia track. I've already seen quite some spectacular moments in the low gear and mid gear division, and now it's up to the high gear drivers to see what they got, as Robestian is the first car out on track, followed by Colin right behind him. If I'm allowed to switch, yes, there we go. So we got the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari as first cars on track, and let's see what they can do in their first stint, where we can see Colin on the mediums and Robestian on the soft tires. And welcome everybody in the chat. We got Jamagovic, Hus and Evil Master already joined in the stream, watching the high gear division do their best on this track, which is a tricky track, of course. Very fast, not that small though. Perhaps one of the best street circuits to make an attempt on an overtake, but then again, due to the speed of it, it's always a tricky one, and you need to time it just well. So let's see, we hope some spectacular overtakes here tonight, and a really nice race as well, as Robestian is making his way up to the straight in this long DRS part. DRS is open, as you can see, and then he goes to the last hairpin of this track and will start his lap. I'm definitely gonna have a look at Colin as well, since he is on the medium tires, of course, one of the favorites to win the championship again this season. But let's see what he can do here tonight. Is the luck still with him? Also on Saudi Arabia, it can be a very difficult track, and it can be very unpredictable. Meanwhile, Robestian's teammate Hixie joined him on a hot lap as well. And look at this combination turns, so fast and so tactical as well. Easy to invalidate, exit this corner, but Robestian takes it very well. And that's the first sector. Then this fast Alcamo, and there's a small hit on the wall. Let's hope he didn't damage anything on the car there. It's easy to hit the wall there on the exit, as it is such high speed, a quick early acceleration. And therefore difficult to get it just right. And then this chicane, full throttle after the break. Second DRS zone, and let's see what the first time is going to be from the AlphaTauri car, and just followed by Colin as well. Takes it quite a wide line there. ERS is over, and 128.6. Colin joining on a 127.9, and look at the gap already from the Ferrari car, making a big gap on the medium tire. And Hixie joining on P2, so it's looking good for the AlphaTauris for the moment, with a 128.4. So it's a 5/10 gap towards P1. Andrew in the Alpine going fourth with 28.7. So he will definitely be looking to improve his lap small bits at a time. Colin, his teammate Luke, is going for P5, 29.1. So it's again quite a gap towards the car in front of him. And then we're gonna look for the next car. Oh, we can see FCT the best, or KFKFC going purple there, but he slowed down early. Oh, and we got a car in the wall actually. Oh yeah, there we go. Hixie spun out. Let's hope he didn't catch any damage. Dennis then going for P6 on the mediums, 129.7. So again a big gap, and it's looking like none of the drivers is having the same feeling for this track at the moment. Got Sprunky in the Haas as well. He seems to be on a very fast lap. Taking the combination turns nicely, and look how close you hit the wall on most of the exits and entries. You can just touch it with your fingertips if you stick out your hand, but with this speed, of course, that's not a smart move to go for. Sprunky going purple in sector 1. Had to lift a bit in the exit there of the hairpin. And taking it really close to the wall there on the exit or halfway through sector 2. And no purple in sector 2. So he might have lost some time on the hairpin, but he takes a very nice line on the chicane. And look how close he is to the wall again. It's insane. Making the track as wide as possible. Getting a bit of traffic here ahead of him, but then it makes a nice room. Short line towards the finish. And it's going to be a 1:28.3 for Sprunky, joining him on P2. That's a really good lap from the Haas car there. And then we got Deck, the guy who's been waiting for to start the session, since he didn't pick his car yet. The Red Bull coming out of the last corner. And it's going to be 1:29.2. So not the best lap for Deck there. But he's definitely going to improve, I just know it. Brandon on the mediums took P7. And Maggot actually got P6. And it's his first race for RPM. And what a track he's joining to make a debut. And it looks like he's going for a second stint here. Oh, and it's very close to a validation as well. But he kept it nice and calm. Full speed, taking all the track he needs to get his lap as fast as possible. DRS open for the Aston Martin here. Last part of the track. And try to defend your way out there. It's going to be very difficult in the race for each car who gets a DRS behind him. Maggot going for a 1:28.2, a big improvement, and he joins P2. So the Aston Martin car showing off his pace already, as Cosmo is going to be the next car on track to set a lap time. The other Haas car here. Meanwhile, we got Spritzy joining in the chat as well. So does Russ. Spritzy, of course, shouting for the Alpines, and Russ going for the McLarens. And Sean going for Bucker to have a good race here. Cosmo joining on P10. And Bucker in the meantime did set a lap in the McLaren, of course. And he's on P5, so well done for him. His teammate in the meanwhile is going for another stint. Let's see what he's gonna do. Looks to be very cautious around here. Not what we used to, and he invalidates a lap once again. And as said, it's so easy to invalidate your lap on those combination turns over there. Excuse me. The Alpine then of Lucis invalidated as well. So Jamakovic, KFK, O'Brien and Lucis aren't the cars who didn't set a lap time. Yeah, Penta Brandon in the meantime did DNF or retired from the session, which is a shame for the Aston Martin car, who will now be starting at the back of the grid. What can we see in the meantime? Brent going for his third stint on those mediums. He's trying to improve and improve the more he can, and getting closer to a position up. But can he on the mediums? That's the big question, of course. Shack Attack joining in the meantime as well, and so does Netty. Thinking Colin has an extra turbo, and Brent goes in. He says it's enough for those mediums. And is Andrew improving in the last stint he did on this tires? No. Oh yeah, he did. 1/10th actually. 128.6, helping him on P6 where he already was, of course. And Robastian going P2 now. So it's got a lot switching around on P2. The gap towards Colin is starting to become smaller. And the AlphaTauri is really showing good pace here so far. Then we got the teammate of Colin. Look how close he is to the wall there. Luke going all in here. Full refs. Gotta hit some traffic though. Let's hope he is alright. No purple sector, where he did make an improvement, I believe. Yeah, he did. Going for it, the Ferrari car of Luke, who's now gonna hit the traffic of Andrew. Can he take a little slipstream here from the Alpine car, which can help him to get up a place? Oh, and it's very tight there for Luke. Not a really easy spot to give room to the car coming up behind you. But Andrew managed it, and Luke is going through the last corner now, and DRS open in 20 meters. And it's gonna be a 1:28.9, and it's 2/10 up, but no big improvement for the Ferrari car. He keeps it in P9. Loses then. Why is he showing me deck? Meanwhile, we got another AlphaTauri car on track going through the last corner now. Can he improve a lot and maybe take his teammate his spot and maybe take it to 3 for AlphaTauri with only 5 minutes left, and he does! P3 for Hixie, and that's a really good lap from him there. Bakker then in the McLaren invalidated his lap. Deck invalidated his lap, and we can see a lot of this happening, I guess. And I think we're gonna see quite some penalties here in as well. Is Luke improving on his second stint on this soft tires? Let's see. He's gonna have a Haas behind him. It's on an out lap, so it's gonna be Cosmo who's gonna have a little advantage on the slipstream on the straight. And it looks like Luke stopped his lap there. Deck going for another stint. Jamagovic going for his first time in the Williams. And we're going to keep an eye on Colin as well, who's doing a soft stint now. With the gap he managed to get on the mediums, he might as well get in on the softs done as well. And it's going to be a 1:26.9, and it's a second of an improvement and a big gap towards P2 now. Definitely a lot of practice for this Ferrari car here. Just feels the track and know how to drive it. Sprunky on the lap now as well, the Haas driver who already showed a lot of pace in his first stint. And second stint here on the soft tires, third stint actually. It might help out a bit, but with the high speed of this track, your tires will wear out a lot. But maybe the rubber hitting the tire now can help him get his pace a little more. A teammate making lots nice of room there. Oh, and a small hit towards the wall there. Hopefully no damage. And another one, and another one. He's hitting the wall like it's boxing. Sprunky not giving up though. Little lift there. He doesn't want to hit the wall again. Already took 3 punches. And he's definitely fighting this track at the moment. Literally fighting this track. Let's see what he can do on the final DRS straight. Low on fuel though. So he might go in. Unless he improves his lap with only 2.5 minutes to go. So he won't have a lot of time left to do another stint. And Sprunky going for a 27.9, going P2. And it did help him out. Megaden. He's just in the first sector yet. Do we have a car even further up? We got Andrew hitting a yellow flag there. It seems like it's going for Bakker, but I'm not sure. He's on the outlap as well, so can Andrew maybe provide from it? The McLaren car right in front of him. Andrew going purple there, quick purple though. It might have been broken already. Nice exit here, making it wide. DRS open, short line towards the finish. No, quite wide actually. But he did improve by almost 4 tenths, going P5 now. And that's 2 places up for the Alpine car and looking good for them. Luke in the first sector. Let's join Maggot, who is coming up to the last part of the track. Brent in front of him is going for an out lap. It looks like Maggot is giving up on his time here. Yeah, he definitely did, because he's already in 132. And he goes in. He thinks it's enough. Which is quite a tricky one, knowing there's a lot of cars in front of you. Still on the lap. Dennis then going for P8. Cosmo invalidated his lap. Can do another stint though. Let's join Bakker on his qualifying. Sprunky and Maggot both saying it's enough. Sprunky actually hit a wall somewhere and it's going to be over here. I didn't see his car. Oh, and that's a really dangerous place. Bakker almost hit the back of the Haas there. And that's a difficult place to just go around. And very dangerous for the car still on the lap. Bakker hitting Luke in front of him though. It's a little slipstream. No, he's quite far away. But did the McLaren improve? And he's going 27.9. P2 for Bakker in the McLaren. Only 1 second. Well, only. They're 1 second behind Colin. And he did a last purple sector. Andrew is going in. Brent still in his lap. Invalidated. Cosmo on invalidation. Deck did invalidated. And KFK is still going. And so is Colin, who's in front of Brian. So let's see. Oh, and he invalidates. Oh, and hits the wall as well. There's still big mistakes from the Ferrari car. And that's not what we see very often of him. Then we can see the McLaren coming up behind him. Can he take a little advantage from the Ferrari in front of him, who made a mistake? And Colin leaves a nicely all the room for Brian there. Brian going a bit wide, but has a lot of traction. Let's see what he's going to do on his final stint. Didn't set 1 lap yet. And the car in the last corner is cleared out just in time. Brian, 124 so far, 25, 26, 27, 28, 27, and it's a McLaren 2 and 3. Now this is going to be a very interesting one. We've seen Brian challenging Colin a lot during this season and last season as well. Definitely improved his pace a lot. And now he and his teammate can challenge the Ferrari on this track. Colin going P1, it's a McLaren 2 and 3. Then we got Sprunky on P4. We got Robastian on 5. Hixie then on 6. Andrew on 7. Maggot on his first race on P8. Not too bad. Dennis on P9. Brent on P10. 11 for Luke. 12 for Cosmo. Deck on P13. Lucis on 14. And Jabakovic and Brandon unfortunately couldn't get 1 lap in. amazing qualifying and a lot of shuffles for the positions for the grid, as we're gonna wait till the race gets into the formation lap, and then we're gonna have a big race coming up. That's one thing I'm sure of. Wow, I really need to have a drink on that one. Jesus. And look at the guys going in the chat. We got Ross really happy to get 2 McLarens on the front rows. And of course, yeah, that's just insane. Waiting for the cars to get on the grid. Octavio joining us in chat as well. Welcome, mate. Hope you will enjoy this race. And while the formation lap is going on, we're gonna have a quick look into the press room. And well, let's just get to one of the questions who is actually very active at the moment. We got 2 teammates just joining behind each other as we're gonna set the let's see, tire choices. There we go. Got softs all the way to P9 and Brent on P10 with the mediums. 3 softs behind him and 3 mediums behind there. Question 2 for this week's lobby was team strategy and safety car can be very deciding. Do you hope to encounter a safety car, and how are you planning to get a good points with your teammate for your team? Well, let's just go into Bakker and KFK here, who both said don't think there's a lot of strategy work possible around this track. It's flat out and see where we end. And yeah, of course, he has a really good point there. It's just a track that goes so high speed and full out mental, just insanely fast. Brian saying, I hope for a safety car so I can catch up when inevitably I break my wing. And he's already very scared to break a wing, so just keep it in one piece, Colin. Colin in the meantime, saying a safety car in high gear is unheard of, and I totally agree with you there, mate. It's unheard of. High gear never gets a safety car. High gear stewards, hope you guys have a good weekend this week. A calm weekend. And well, the cars are lining up once again to get the race started. And we're gonna have a look from Brian's car to see the lights, unless the game is gonna give me a better one. No, it's not. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on, and when they are off, we are racing, which is now, and it looks like a really good start from both McLarens. And oh, look at Robastian popping up out of nowhere, already challenging for a podium position here. Both McLarens not giving each other a lot of room as well. They are going at it. Robastian already close towards Sprunky, but doesn't want to risk anything, and it looks like everyone went well through the first few corners. At the start of the race, Cosmo had a really good start there. Brent lost 1 position. Luke on P12. Brandon had a really good start, going all the way to P13 already. Deck not too well, Lustis not too well, and Jemakovic as well didn't have a best start as well. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for high speed battles, and we can see Bakker actually going quite far away from his teammate at the moment. His teammate cutting the corner off there, outbraked himself, which might give Sprunky a little room to get closer. Already in this race. Brent having a lot of troubles on those mediums so far. Lost 3 positions in just 2 sectors. And it doesn't seem like those mediums fit him for the moment. He might have been not warming up them too well. But let's see what he does throughout the race. Andrew getting tailed by Megan here. In through the last corner, it looks like Megan has way more overspeed. Oh, and Andrew making a little mistake there. Lost the car a bit, saved it, but lost the position with it. And it's side by side towards turn 1. Can I get a better view of this? Please, game. Inside for Andrew, outside for Megan, and there's contact. Andrew lost it on the inside. Oh, and he rejoins the track. Very unsafe. Takes out his teammate with it. Lost his front wing. Lucis made a big spin there. Did he get damaged? Let's see what Das says. Lucis. No, he didn't get damaged. Deck did though. 30% on the left front wing. And we got a no front wing on the car of Andrew. Brent went in for new mediums in the meantime, and Brian already grabbing a penalty. That's early on in the race. Sprunky fighting the track again. Boxing Muhammad Ali in the Haas here. But look how close he gets towards Brian here. It doesn't seem like the McLaren has too much feeling of the track here. But he has a better exit there and makes the gap slightly bigger once again. Behind them we got both the AlphaTauris keeping each other within DRS. And then the big gap towards Mega there. And we got a yellow flag, and it's for Lucis, who spun out. And it's just so unfortunate for him. He didn't have the best starts, and then he collided with his teammate just right there. After his teammate made a very, very unsafe track rejoin. Barker doing quite well so far to keep it close towards Colin as possible, but Colin has a really good feeling of the track, and it might be a bit of warning there for the McLaren driver, and his teammate is quite close behind there. So this is just a big battle for P2 and 3 at the moment, but all can change after strategy hits. We got Deck and Andrew in the pit lane, and Lucis still Lucis is still going, but he has damage, right? No, he doesn't. He went in, I guess. Oh no, he didn't catch any damage. That's true. And well, Brent is quite happy with what happened at the back, I guess, after his early pit stop for the second medium stint. He still needs to pit once again, of course. Megan actually lost quite a lot of places going in as well. He's only 2 laps on the medium. Oh no, he did go in as she. Brandon made a really good start of the race. Now racing for P9, and so did Cosmo. Cosmo actually battling Dennis Lone here. Then he's going to be on the inside. No, he doesn't want to risk it, and he's absolutely right. Let's see what he can do on the next part of the straight. A bit backspin off Dennis there. Lost the rear a bit, and this is going to give Cosmo a really good possibility to overtake. Bit of weaving there from the Mercedes, but Cosmo took it well and overtook to P7. And look at Sprunky going. Oh, Bakker actually gave the position towards Brian there. Or actually, they switched position. I don't know if it was within a battle or not. But it seems like Bakker is just holding up Sprunky a bit at the moment. He doesn't want his teammate to suffer too much already from a penalty. And oh, Bakker, oh, that's really close. That's really close. Right, look at the exit of Sprunky there. Inside for Sprunky, inside line. And for Barker now, and how it can switch. And what an overtake from Sprunky and the Haas. Barker now at P4. Lost out on his teammate and lost out towards the Haas now as well. But there goes Barker once again. No, guys don't go for this corner. Don't go for this corner. They did it. They actually did it. And there goes Sprunky once again. And the DRS is for him as well, so he can make a small gap towards Barker now. There goes Robastian as well. This is a three-way battle for the first podium position. Third, sorry. Yeah, well, first in the row, but third on the podium, of course. In the end, Robestian now going for Sprunky as well, and it's a double overtake in only one sector for Robestian. Oh, Sprunky keeping it in though. Sprunky definitely not giving up, and there comes Hixie, his teammate, as well. Sprunky fighting back the Alpha Tauris. It's an amazing sight, and this is exactly what we want to see in the high gear division for tonight's race. Oh, and Bakker, did he went in? Yeah, he did went in. All the way to P12 now. He lost out a lot after those battles. Oh, and actually a big spin there almost as well. Catched it really good though. Really good call from Bakker. As we're gonna look up for the next battle, Brendan on the mediums. Look at the pace of the Aston Martin one here. Oh, and that's very close with Cosmo. What an overtake from the Aston Martin. Cosmo fighting back towards the chicane. And we already know it's quite hard to get a decent overtake there. And Brendan doesn't want to risk it. We see Sprunky lost out a lot as well towards his team with the battle with Bakker there. And now comes Aston Martin on the outside line. Can he outbrake the Haas and take the position with it? And taking a wide line here. Close towards the wall, and there comes Luke as well. What a battles we're seeing here tonight. And with all this battling going on, Colin is just cruising away, and Cosmo taking the position back after the DRS, and there comes Brendan again on the inside line. Better exit, but doesn't want to risk too much. Cosmo fighting the track now as well. It seems like the Haas's are just taking this as a boxing match, and we got Dennis out of the race in the pit lane. He retired, which is unfortunate because he was doing quite well, but no points for the Mercedes here tonight. And let's just go to Lucas on board, because this is just a first row seat for the battle going on in front of him. Brendan now finally got Cosmo after a hard battle. And Cosmo is now going to be in the heat for the Ferrari car behind him, as well as Cosmo has lost some traction there. And there comes Luke on the outside line. Oh, Cosmo is just hitting the wall like an animal. There comes Luke. Outside of Cosmo, and I think, yeah, Luke is gonna wait for the DRS, and he did absolutely right. DRS open for the Ferrari here, and that's Cosmo lost another position after a tough battle with the Aston Martin. Do we got some more battles going on? Yeah, we got another Haas who's in the total heat of two AlphaTauri cars behind him, and this is for the third position, of course. This is for a podium place, so all these guys are gonna give it all they got, but the gap towards Brian is quite big in the meantime. Cosmo grabbing a penalty there. And I think we're going to see quite some more of those. Let's switch to Robestian is on board, as he is within DRS range of Sprunky. Coming up towards the DRS now. And it's going to be open here. Let's see how close he can get to actually make an attempt on the overtake towards Sprunky. Oh, late break! And this has cost Sprunky the position, as this wasn't a good strategy to make the overtake or keep the position. Hixie doesn't want to risk overtaking on the first corner, and I think that's a smart move, and he's got to keep it. Now Sprunky in the AlphaTauri sandwich, Oh, lost the back of the car there a bit. And let's hope he didn't catch any damage, and he didn't at the moment. But we got the Williams with 6% on the left front wing. So it's got to be for Jamakovic. Oh, Robestian taking a penalty now as well. Luke really closing in on Brandon, but Brandon is on a different strategy. Jamakovic going closer towards Cosmo. But remember, he has damage. Oh, Sprunky really close towards Robesian now. Towards the chicane. DRS part now, and he's really close to make an attempt. There he comes, full speed, outside line for Sprunky. Can he outbrake Robesian? Oh, there comes Hixie! Freeway battle! No! It's Robestian actually giving the position quite easily there. But he has the DRS, and both AlphaTauri strike and go, leave nothing left for the Haas car there. Robestian making himself wide, almost taking his teammate with it. Luke then in the full battle with Brandon. Well, he overtook Brandon, but Brandon definitely not gave up. The battles are definitely up front at the moment, as Jamakovic is actually closing in towards Cosmo little by little as well. Here comes Sprunky once again on the AlphaTauri of Robestian. These guys have been seeing each other lap in, lap out. Quite a race so far from High Gear Division. What an exciting moment we've seen already. Robesian does have DRS on his teammate though. Is AlphaTauri gonna play it smart here and just switch out the DRS after each other to help defending on the Haas? We got Brian in the pit lane. There comes Robestian on Hixie, and easily given from the teammate there. Sprunky not able to close in enough to make the move as well, and still the AlphaTauris are leading to 3. Colin in the meantime, actually, let's have him on board as well a bit. With all the battling going on behind him, he was able to get a big gap towards P2. And of course Brian pitting early as well helps him to get a almost 16-second gap towards P2 of Robestian. Brandon overtook Luke in the meantime again, and Cosmo got overtaken by Jamakovic. Brian took the medium stint with 15 laps to go. And let's see if he has enough speed to gain as much positions as possible to make the undercut maybe work towards Colin. Robestian and Hixie joining each other again on the DRS bar. Now Robestian is gonna have DRS again and is gonna take the position away. No, he's not. Hixie staying out. Robestian and Sprunky going in. Hixie all on his own now. Luke is going in. This is giving Brian another position. And Brandon as well, joining on P3 now. And don't forget, this car came all the way from the back. Cosmo taking a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Let's look up the battles once again. Now Robestian came out in front of Bakker, and he is on the soft tires for 5 laps, and Robestian has fresh medium ones, meaning Bakker still needs to get his medium tires after this one. But look at there, who pops up there? Sprunky, what a speed! He meets Bakker once again, and this time he's on fresh mediums. Again, a bit of loss on the rear there from the Haas car, and we've seen it both on both the cars. So the setup for the car might not be right for the exit to go full throttle. Bakker having a DRS there. Wow. So that might help him defend towards Sprunky. Sprunky taking the inside line, breaks the same side by side, pushing Bakker wide there and taking the position with the DRS as well, since he was still 1 second behind, behind Bakker on the DRS detection zone. Excuse me once again. Hixie went in the meantime as well. He is just behind Bakker, and it looks like the pace of Sprunky is just really well, as he went in together with Robestian and took the position away from at least one of the AlphaTauri cars. Lucius then, he is behind Maggot. He didn't have a lot of luck so far in the race, but he is now up to P12 and looking for battles. But then again, he has 11 lap on those mediums. Colin had a safe pit stop and went for new medium tires and kept the position as well. Let's go once again towards Sprunky. Now once again in battle with Robestian and AlphaTauri. We've seen it quite often this race, and we're gonna see a lot more, I guess. And look at the speed of Sprunky there with the DRS open, but he doesn't want to risk it straight away. And and a smart move from Robestian, braking earlier to get the DRS away from Sprunky. Slipstreaming, Sprunky full defending, but look at the speed of Robestian once again, and he takes the position easily. And that's of course one of the most tactical things you can do on this track. You got one DRS detection zone after the really long DRS bar, and you're just gotta be a sitting duck when you overtake on the DRS bar and just need to have another DRS just after the overtake. It's just switching around positions then, and that's not how to get up. And Robestian took it really well, but can he now keep the big gap big enough to keep Sprunky away? Our chief steward is not liking it though. But of course it's all part of the game, and it's all part of the strategy, and these guys are gonna look for the limits just to get the really decent position and decent points in the end. But with Jemagovic right in front of Robestian now, it's just gonna be really easy to defend off Sprunky for a moment. Sprunky, Sprunky actually giving a lot of room from Jemagovic there, and now it overtakes Robestian once again, and now he is in P4. But I think it's safe to say that Brandon might have a safe pit stop coming up anytime soon. The gap at the moment is 11, it's 10 seconds, about 10 and a half, 11 seconds. So no, that's not going to be enough for the safe pit stop. But he definitely showed off the pace there, and he's got to keep it really close, I guess. While the battles are lasting. Bakker went in again and now is on the fresh mediums, overtook Megan. Oh, Bakker is out! Big hit for the McLaren car there, and that must be a safety car. That must be a, yeah, there we go, that's the safety car. Maggot had a most unlucky position to be in on that moment. Barker massively smashed the car into the wall there by defending on Maggot, and Maggot just slammed into it. And yeah, there's nothing you can do there to stay out of the car hitting the wall. And now it's going to be interesting to see what the cars are going to do. Colin is going in, of course. And Brandon, look at Brandon. This couldn't have come in a better moment for him. Brian going in as well. What's Sprunky going to do? You can easily fit the softs. Sprunky going in. Robastian going in. All late decisions here. Jamagovic going in. Hixie staying out. Doesn't want a double stack. Even though I think the gap was there. Oh, and look at Brent. He's on fresh soft tires. And with all the cars in front of him pitting, he might be looking at a really good exit here. There he goes. P7. P7. So yeah, he actually had some advantage of it. And all the cars coming in now, and what an unfortunate moment for Barker that has been. He was on a good strategy and looking on good pace. But unfortunately for him, it didn't work out. So now you can join us in the chat. Tell us what happened, Dookie. I'm so glad I got that on stream, by the way. Makes me happy. Brandon must be one of the luckiest cars on track at the moment. All the way from P16 up to P2, and with his pace he's shown and the strategy he used, he might end up in P2. Maybe even challenge Colin for a moment. Well, look at the penalties for the meantime. We got Brian on 6 seconds. Then we got a way low of freeze. Got Sprunky, Robastian, Luke, Jamakovic, Lucist, and Maggot on 3 seconds. And then we got Deck and Cosmo on 6 seconds. So those times will be added up. And I see a lot. It's Cosmo, but I can't see. Yes, sir, you can see the penalties once again. No worries. Go ahead. All for the viewers. And thanks, by the way, Boris, for the welcome back. It's been a while for me to be on commentary, but what a race I've joined to start again. Don't get too used to it though. It might be once in a while I'll join on the commentary for the league races at least. The events I'm gonna be there as much as I can. And of course with the events I mean the friendly races RPM does and the league versus league races. It's insane that Hixie and Brandon actually managed to do the one stop, and so did Lustis and Jamakovic. So those cars did really well on strategy, and the safety car couldn't get on a better moment for them. Once again though, Hixie did choose the mediums. Colin is gonna decide the pace of the safety car. Restart with Brandon straight behind him. And he needs to time it perfectly, and wow, that's a really nice surprise there. But it looks like... Whoa, Brian was sleeping. He keeps the inside line though. And they gave Hixie a lot of room. And keeps the position with it as well. Let's see what Sprunky's got in room. But Bastian lost the position towards Brent. Brent, who is on 3-lap or soft tires of course. But he behind the safety car already. So at the meantime, he's only 1% less than Robastian here, and he gave the position quite easily away, knowing the tires are a bit worn off more. Brandon still keeping it within the DRS of Colin. Can he keep it when still the DRS is enabled once again? Because then he can be an attempt on the head position. Oh, and Hixie is off. Oh, and that's so unfortunate for the AlphaTauri car here, who was doing quite well the entire race, had a lot of battles and lost a lot of his front wing as well. 38% damage for the AlphaTauri car of Hixie. And at the meantime, penalty is decided. We got a lot of penalties, and Brandon in P6 looking good so far. He can take P4 if he keeps it like this. Jamagovic is overtaking Luke here. Luke battling back though. Oh no, Luke is actually losing towards Lucis. And yet this is what a safety car restart can do, and it cannot always be in everyone's favor. Andrew having a little battle here with Deck, and I'm glad the grid is all a bit closer up again. Brandon actually lost a lot of time towards Colin, and Brian is still within his DRS. He is safe though for P3 with 1.7 seconds gap towards Sprunky on P4. I'm just trying to look up a bit of the moments we didn't see, the cars we didn't see that much on track yet. But of course we want to see a lot of the battles going on everywhere. Lucis took another 3-second penalty on the exit of the chicane. Brian close towards Brandon, but DRS isn't enabled yet. It should be this lap. Yes, there we go. And he is gonna look for the attempt on Brandon, but then again, he still needs to lose 3 seconds towards the Aston Martin car. And that's gonna be a hard challenge to get it done within the laps remaining. Brent nicely keeping it close towards the guys in front of him who got a penalty, and he doesn't. And neither does Andrew, and he is looking quite good so far as well. Sometimes the safe way is the smartest way. As it showed off for Brandon so far. And Brent. There we go. Brian already overtaken by... gets the overtake done on Brendan. But Brendan switching it back, of course, for the next DRS part. And he is now back in P2. And if I was him, I would just try to just tow Brian a bit. As of course Sprunky has. Of course you're not teammates. But you know he's gonna drop down anyway. If you keep it behind him. And Sprunky is still looking for the podium position here. As he's actually closing up a bit. After the overtake of Robastian, Sprunky just went full throttle. And is now trying to fight for P3. Here we can see Jamagovic towards Brent in the Williams as Brian overtakes Brendan once again, and that's of course he wants to try to get the gap towards Sprunky as big as possible, but at the moment it's not working. Sprunky doing really well, but there comes Robastian as they meet up once again, and Robastian takes the position for Sprunky. No, Sprunky fighting back again. Taking the inside line, and that's just, oh, this is battling on the max. This is battling on the line as Sprunky lost now the position towards Robastian, and Brian is almost safe towards the P3 position. Oh, there goes Sprunky once again. He and Robastian are just switching positions. They're just trading it. After fighting the track, Sprunky fought with Robastian. And he keeps doing it. He just keeps doing it. He's just in the absolute fighting mood tonight. Robastian closing in towards Sprunky. There comes the DRS, but it's a small DRS train forming up behind Sprunky. It might cost him more than just one position. And there he goes, 3 wide actually. A bit of slithering. But 3 wide, Jamagovic on the inside. Oh, and he hits the wall. Brent then going for the move. And Brent is now in P4. What a battle was this! Brent just popping up, taking 2 positions just out of the blue. And Brent of course having no penalties as well. With 3 laps remaining. He's gonna be quite a city duck in front of Robastian though. As the tire wear of Brent is actually quite the same as Robastian. Which is quite nice, because since... Oh, Robastian takes another penalty. Brent might be looking for a podium here. With Brian going 9 seconds. He is looking for a podium. Oh, Robastian, mate, Joe, don't lose it now. Jamagovic outside line to take P5. Better exit as to brake a bit though. Smart line from Robastian. And the Williams car now going for the attack as they both got the same amount of penalties. Brent losing it towards Robastian, but he's in no worries at all at the moment. He just knows he needs to keep it within the 9 seconds and within the 6 seconds to the cars in front of him, and he's doing well for that. Oh, and there's actually a bit. Oh, he's in AI. What happened? Oh, and he's back. No, and now he did take a 3 second. Oh, and Lucius is out as well in the pit lane, so just a retirement. Sprunky just losing position after position now. That was a nice shot, by the way. And Maggot going with P6, Jamakovic P7. He might actually take a warning there. As I just got to keep up the penalties now, because it's now just calculating. It's calculating to the end of the race. Oh no! Oh, and that's a big crash once again with Sprunky and Jamakovic. Jamakovic hitting the wall, and that's a retirement on track. Sorry, mate, I got that. Sprunky unfortunately got just lost in it as well, and is now, after such a good race, looking at a really, really undeserved result. And it's good to say sorry to your Barkers, to your fans, Barker. Unfortunately for you though, they only had one tonight. It was Sean. Good for him to support you though. Good for him. Brendan now looking for, after such a good race, at the podium, with Brian really close behind him, but he has the penalty advantage. And at the moment, it's not looking for a podium at Brent. Brendan. Wow, really sorry for that. Brendan now switching the position once again with Brian as we enter the final lap of tonight's race on Saudi Arabia in round 3, season 3 of RPM Esports F1 High Gear Division. And what a race we've seen so far, and it's still going on. I hope for Brendan he can find the 410s needed on end of the finishing line. Only 2 tenths left. Oh, and he's gaining a lot on the exits and the fast corner parts, but then losing it on the straights again. So Brian's setup is just really fast on the straights, might be, or he might be having a bit more advantage on the tires, because Brian's tires are looking better. And no, unfortunately for Brent, it doesn't look like a podium for him, but it does look like for a win. Another one for RPM Colin on P1 in the Ferrari here in Saudi Arabia on High Gear Division. Brian then on the line battling with Brendan, but he's gonna lose it out anyway. Brian P3, Brendan after an amazing race on P2. A lot of luck for, of course, as well with the safety car. Maggot going P5 with Brent on P4. He might be happy with that result in the end as well. What a race for him as well. Robastian, we've seen him battling a lot with his teammate as Sprunky, and in the end P6 for him. Andrew P7, Luke on P8. We got Deck on P9. Sprunky, so unfortunate for him, man. I really hope for him he could get more points than this. On P10, Hixie coming through the last corner with P11. And it's gonna be Cosmo finishing it up on P12 as the final car here tonight. Wow, what a race. I'm gonna give you your moment, Cosmo, don't worry. Time to shine. And of course, I'm gonna try to get the interviews over with Colin, Brendan and Brian, if they want to, of course. Don't take too much time, Cosmo. And there's our podium here for tonight. Sorry, Huss, by the way, I didn't show the telemetry. I was trying to get as much on screen as possible. I should have showed it once in a while. Sorry, mate. Mark really happy with his teammate. Respect towards Brendan for the Ukrainian flag. As we gonna try to get the podiums quick in after I've viewed, of course, the final results. Also for our coordinator to send in. There we go. With the times. Alright, let's try to get a podium interviews. So they should be in already. So let's see if they can join. Let's put in the Discord real quick. As we're gonna switch, of course, to the theater real quick. We got at least one into the podium interviews. So we're gonna have his car on screen first. We're gonna start off with P2 after what an amazing race, and of course some luck with the safety car as well for the Aston Martin car of Brendan. Mate, what a final result, coming all the way from the back and joining on the podium now.
Yeah, I made a big mistake in quali. I thought I had a quali ban. I didn't really read my punishment for last week, so yeah, I put myself at the back because I thought I had quali ban. But from there, it was just about catching up, and yeah, a bit of luck with the safety car. But yeah, P2, I'm happy with that.
And your teammate joined you on, I believe, P5 as well. So that's a good result for Aston Martin in high gear division tonight. So just go through the race with us. You start at the back after a small mistake, of course, which made it quite difficult for yourself. But then you know is you got the pace to climb up and you end up on the podium. So how do you feel?
Yeah, obviously I knew I had a bit of pace here. I know I didn't have the pace to win, but yeah, starting from the back, just have to be careful the first couple laps. But yeah, I was just taking cars one by one, doing it the most respectful way I can. I think did have a little incident with one guy. I don't know who it was, but I'm sorry to him. It wasn't major, but yeah, I was just then I was just driving my own race, and then obviously the safety car came out, which helped me massively. And it also put us all on a level playing field with the fresh softs, so it wasn't easy from there. But yeah, me and Brian just swapping positions every lap. He'll get me on the straight, I'll get him after. But yeah, obviously I only had 3 seconds. I think he had 9, so he got P2 on track, but unluckily he had penalties, so I got the P2 in the end.
Yeah, well, really enjoyed this one, mate. After a really nice race from you with some luck and a good strategy.
Thank you, mate. I love to shout him, by the way. Love it.
Thank you, thank you. Then we got the P3. Unfortunate for him, as Brandon already said, he took it on track as P2, but lost out on the podium position of P2 due to penalties. Brian in a McLaren, who saw his teammate fall out, and well, at least you did recover well for the McLarens here tonight. Yeah, well, you might have a good chat with him then after tonight. In your own press room. Yeah, well, you were both, of course, really quick at qualifying, and I believe it was only 3,000 of a second separating you guys for the position of P2. But then again, you said in your own press room conference, you were really scared to lose out your wing or have a crash here. In the end, the race did end up very well for you. Unfortunate for the penalties though, but yeah, we've seen a lot of cars on track here tonight with massive penalties. Were you scared to lose out on the podium in the end, actually? Yeah. Well, yeah, we've seen the track throwing those around a lot. So yeah, we're definitely not the only one. Then in the first couple of laps, it was just a lot of shoveling around for the first podium position, of course, and for you in the end as well with Brendan. So how did that feel? Just switching positions every lap in again. Yeah, indeed. Knowing you would lose out the P2 position in the end anyway. Yeah, well, of course, no big risk. Well, congrats for you on P3, mate, and well recovery there. Unfortunately, Colin didn't join us in the podium interviews, so we're going to end off here. Thank you all for watching on the high gear division of RPM Esports F1, and hopefully see you all back next week in round 4, where we're going to kick off with low gear division first on Tuesday. Hope you all enjoyed the race and have a great evening, guys. Bye.